about to take it back.
Okay. Yes, guys, and welcome back to another freaking episode. Welcome back to the podcast, the Talking Loud podcast, where we discuss everything dank, smelly, sticky, icky, that sort of stuff. And we got a very fucking special guest with us today. You may guess by what's going on right now on the screen that we've got a fucking celeb in the house, fam, a huge ass celeb. So let's just bring him on right now. Rob, how's it going, man? Welcome to the show.
Shit, your brother. It's an honor, man. You got a banger intro too. It's an honor, dude. I appreciate. Humbled.
Man, like I'm just so stoked to have you on, guys. Like, guys, you don't understand. Like, before we actually got on here, like I was trembling. I was like, shit, man, I'm gonna have Rob on. Like, this is fucking crazy, dude. Like, and I'm super stoked to have him on. We had a little chat on before, and there's some stuff we're really gonna get into and unpack, man. But first of all, Rob, welcome to the show, CLTV. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Just taking the time, man. You know, you guys smash the fucking like for Rob if you know what's going on. If you know what's going on with From the Stash, CLTV, all that stuff. So, Rob, just tell me, how's it going, man? How's everything going?
It's great, man. Dude, super humbling to all the stuff you say, man. I appreciate you, dude. Like, it's crazy to think that people give a shit about what we do. You know what I'm saying? That like the efforts and it's all paid off. It's just like what you're doing here, man. You keep doing it, you keep pushing. Within some years, it'll get traction and it impacts people and they give a shit what you're doing and you're helping somebody and they give a shit. It's crazy, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, dude. 100%, bro. Like I was telling you just now, man, like I've been watching your videos for years, man. Like you've really helped me on my growth journey. And I'm sure a lot of people who are listening right now as well, man. Just a lot of people in general, dude. Like it's been a long ride for you and you guys. Like I look back at some of your earlier videos. I think one of your first videos, dude, was like the how to make canna butter video. And that shit is racked up like over like 2.1 million views, bro. Like crazy, dude. Like, so just tell us a little bit about CLTV, man. How did it all start?
So initially with CLTV, I was in a marketing agency. That's what I was running at the time. Been an entrepreneur for about a decade, a little longer actually now. Yeah. And I didn't really have a niche or a niche. I didn't have anything that I was specialized in other than weed. Yeah. You know, I've been a grower since I was young, since I was a teenager, right before most people will say. And we had the laws change here and things pivot and it was still a little taboo, but I didn't necessarily want to get myself stigmatized in my local area. So I was like, hey, you know what I could do? I could start this side thing, kind of a hobby, maybe turn it into a business. I'm not going to be on the show though. Yeah. Came up with the concept Cannabis Lifestyle TV, literally went through my town and found like the A team of stoners of people I knew. And I didn't really know Trey at the time very well. He just worked at the grocery store. Yeah. And I was like, my buddy Jordan, Gabe, like I brought all these people in. I was like, you fit this demographic, this one, let's do it. And they're all stoners and they grew.
Yeah.
We had a few episodes together. It didn't take off like I wanted to. The only person who really stuck with it was Trey. And Trey was like, man, he was like, I got some ideas. If you want to sit down and talk, maybe talk partnership. These other guys aren't really doing what they said they would. So let's do it. And fast forward to today, you know, we've put out fucking 300 some videos, created multiple channels, do tours around places, you know, expanding into other markets, we'll say. And it's crazy, man. It started with just an idea of YouTube at the time didn't have the content that was visually appealing with the information. It was either visually appealing with shitty information or shitty look and bad or decent information. It wasn't wasn't great. And most people weren't talking about the things that mattered in terms of like use and cultivation. So
people just wanted to show their plants really to some extent, you know,
a little bit. And most times they wouldn't explain to you the fact that, hey, this plant's got gigantic buds. Like, what's the smell? Like, what's the effect like? Or how did you achieve this? Or this one's got tiny buds and lots of trichomes. Like, what's the difference? Why is this happening like this? Yeah, it was really like an open market of just dudes who had cameras. So I was like, we should do it. At the time, I was making music videos for fucking rappers and shit.
Shit, true.
I was like, I know how to use editing programs. I know I had a camera. I'm like, let's do it, man. Yeah. And if I can, it's taken off now. Like, this is what I do full time. I don't do the agency anymore. I don't have a regular 9 to 5. This is my career. And 8 years it took, but
Yeah, we made it happen, dude. Like, props to you, man. Full respect to you, brother. Because like that's a long journey. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Like I started my channel not that long ago, like compared to you, like probably about 3 years now, maybe four. Maybe four is pushing it if I even think about it. But like you've been like doing it for a while now, so you've definitely seen like a lot of changes, even on the platform. A lot of changes, just like how you would have to do stuff. But before we unpack all of that, man, like just tell us a little bit about Rob, like as a person. A lot of people out here, they're huge fans of you as a channel, and it's bigger than just watching a channel and liking the channel. It's the personality that comes with the channel that a lot of people appreciate. So just tell us a little bit about Rob.
Well, I mean, a little background, I guess. I talk a little bit on my stream about it, but I never really like mention it. Like, come from a somewhat rougher background, we'll say. My family isn't as financially stable as one would like, and I grew up in a rougher neighborhood and just a little bit more poverty, but I feel like that was motivation to get me where I'm at. But I come from a family of stoners, like, period. My grandma's name's Rainbow, like, by law, her name's Rainbow. It just is like in our DNA. My first connection was my grandma's connection in the 70s, who like was old as shit now. Like, so it's like I've always had a connection with the plant as long as I can remember. Like, I mean, literally like 12 or 13 years old. As soon as I was thinking I was becoming a teenager, I was involved. And it got to the point with me that I was getting in trouble a lot. I got put on probation. I was in juvie most of my teens, and it was always weed, just weed. I'd get in a little fight. The cops would come. Somehow I wouldn't get in too much trouble for that because the other person wouldn't trip. But then I get a drug test because I was on probation. Always dirty. Always.
Yeah. Fuck.
And it's like I was, failing in school. I was not a fucking successful person. The people who know me in my personal life, they know my circle. Like, half of my friends have passed away from drugs, or they're in prison, or just still like loser people. So to be able to have found a lane that is cool, like weed and shit, and like for business and for life, like that's insane to be able to do that. So it's like, to have the background that I have to get to where I'm at now, it's achievable for anybody, but it's like you have to learn shit. And for me, I started learning content creation and things like that, doing marketing. And I'm people want to see a story. They want to have a visual or something they can connect to on top of the information. I was doing it for clients because I was like, how do I make money and quit working at factories and fucking restaurants and all shitty stuff? I was like, I'm gonna go on YouTube and learn how to fucking make money. And there was a dude who was talking about freelance marketing and website work. I took his course, learned how to do that shit, and started working with people locally. Not getting much money, but could quit my fucking job at a hotel at the time. And in the daytime, it was a restaurant in the morning, and then third shift's auditor at a hotel. Shitty job. But
bro.
It was motivation. Like all these things.
For sure.
They put me to the point where I really wanted to get out of that. And my family, not the most financially stable. My dad hasn't been in the picture other than negative shit usually. So I'm trying to help my mom. I'm the only child too. My grandparents moved to Israel when I was 12. So it was like, it's just us, and my motivation to make shit happen was different than what a lot of people have, because they don't have the push, because they don't have to. They can relax, and they could, somebody could help them. They can chill and go back home. So I think with what I do, I'm a motivated motherfucker, and I try to have everybody around me be motivated, because like you have to be.
Dude.
You got to make it happen. And if you don't, you're an anchor in someone else's life.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Fucking hell, man. Smash the like for that, dude. That's inspirational as fuck, bro. Like, dude, honestly, like that molds you into like building a different sort of fucking hustler mentality, a go and get it mentality, dude. Like the never say die fucking attitude, dude. And you can see it in you, dude. Like literally your fucking motto for CLTV is stoned and successful, brother. Like, come on, dude.
I appreciate it, brother. This was actually a thing that I started initially. Like I made the design. I had a client who stumbled on cannabis lifestyle, and I was a little concerned. My hand was in the video at the time. I consciously was not in any videos, bro. Like I edited the videos, recorded them, wrote half the scripts, did all the shit like that, but I was never in the video. And the one time I do, my fucking hand's in it, and I use my medical marijuana card. And my name is in my whole name. Luckily, the video got taken out on YouTube.
The whole government name, dude.
Yeah. Well, luckily, it's like, well, why would somebody be watching a weed video on YouTube? This isn't on ABC or on regular TV.
True.
Clearly, they're looking for weed stuff.
Yeah,
so
or they're growing weed, or they're looking for smoke.
Yeah, they were cool. So like, it really broke the barrier for me. And then they were so blown away. They're like, damn, you've done all this work for me and done all this crazy shit. We've made $100,000 revenue profit off of this campaign, and you're a fucking stoner. wow, you are a successful stoner. That's amazing. And I was like,
Perfect.
stoner successful, baby, make it happen. Like, you don't have to be a fucking loser just because you smoke cannabis. If you do anything and it hinders your performance, it makes sense. Then don't abuse it. But if you are just lazy and don't take action, that's just you. The weed's a crutch. Don't blame it on that.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Fuck yeah.
I smoke all
100%,
the
dude.
fucking time. I go to jujitsu in the gym and shit. Fucking, like, there's no excuse. No excuse.
Yeah. None. I love that, brother. That's fucking amazing, dude. And like I think of myself as the same way, dude, because like you got to be able to pull out that success out of you no matter what you're doing. And like I tell people all the time, like I went to law school, dude. Like people don't know that about me. Like I was a full-time lawyer and fucking went to law school, and I ripped a bowl like the one I just ripped, dude. Like before I went to all my exams, I was ripped that bowl and I went into the exams like I passed my shit, dude. I got honors, I graduated and all that shit, dude. I got my master's. Like fuck yeah, dude. You're stoned and successful, dude. So that
Damn,
motto
man.
is
No,
fucking
yeah.
dope, bro.
I didn't even know all that, man. That's what's up, man. That's fucking cool, dude. See,
Yeah,
and
dude.
that's what I'm saying. Is most of the traditional stoner stigmas that are there are on these lazy loser motherfuckers. It's not the ones who
Yeah,
are doing it. The ones who are doing it, we don't have to run around and scream we're stoned all the time. We
yeah.
just are.
People
It's
don't
a
even
part of our
know.
life. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
walk up like fucking, sup, dude. Yeah, what? I was like, nah,
Like
man.
pretty
Like,
much the way they make everyone look in movies, dude.
yeah,
Like,
it's like it's a stigma that I think we're breaking slowly but surely. The more people who come out and just say, yeah, I smoke, it's not a big deal.
yeah, and I
Like,
grow.
I'm obsessed with the plant. Obviously, my whole career is around this shit. I'm truly passionate about cannabis. It's a little
Yeah,
extreme,
yeah,
but other people, they just smoke weed and they do it every fucking day, but it's just like a part of their life. Like they're gonna, go to the gym or they're gonna fucking drink
yeah,
water. Like,
yeah. It's
not a
so
big
true.
deal.
It's so
Other
true.
people
Like
make it seem like such a character defining thing,
yeah, and it's not, dude. And like the stigma around it is fucking crazy, dude. Like I started off my videos on my channel doing pretty much similar things to you, dude. And I didn't even know you did that, bro. I was like not showing my face, only my hands. I was like, when I did use my voice, my bro was like, hey, dude, like people know that's you, bro. You gotta like fucking change your voice. So I like sped it up a little bit and it got a little high pitched, and motherfuckers hated it or they loved it. More people, I think, hated it. But either way, you get what I'm trying to say, you
Yeah,
know?
man. It's like and Pigeons did the same thing. He was all chest, no face, and he was concerned about judgment for his job. When you got a regular career, you've got a family,
Yeah,
you've got bills, responsibilities. You got to take that in consideration. It's
yeah,
only as
dude.
times advanced and there's less stigma on it, but there still is in a certain point. Like,
Still, yeah.
depending on the business, even like Doggo, shout out Doggo the Hut. He's had to hide his whole persona because of work, because corporate world shit may or may not be cool with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a cop. I don't know if you saw in my story. We had a police officer. Shout out Detroit Police.
Yeah, dude.
The homie Blake. He pulls up on us. Like, I thought we were in trouble because we're riding our scooters like past people, and I'm like in between them, acting like an asshole. And fucking, he comes out. He's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I can't believe you guys are just out here." I'm like, what? And he's like, "Rob fucking Trey is crazy, bro. I'm a huge fan." I'm like, "What? Detroit Police?"
Rob some CLTV?
Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was like he saw a celebrity type of shit. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, for me, that's just crazy. Like, I can't believe people think I'm somebody like that. But then also, it's a cop. Like,
Yeah,
I
dude.
spent so much time as a juvenile in juvie from cops for weed, and for now, it's just amazing. Times have
Oh,
changed.
bro. Yeah, dude. Tell me about it, dude. Times have fucking changed. That's crazy, dude. I would have like if I saw him coming to me, I would have like shit my pants. I would have gotten white, and then I would
We
have been like,
just spoke too, like right there, like right with people all around. Like, we probably could have got in trouble for like public consumption. I don't know if that's a
yeah,
big.
indecency or whatever they
Yeah,
call it, dude. I don't know, consumption in public.
fucking crazy,
Oh
man.
fuck, man. But the stigma is real, dude, and I felt that a lot, like with my job as well. Like, and that's pretty much why I was like, fuck it, I just got to move out to Colorado. It's legal. It's like fuck it, dude. Like it actually just turned legal where I was. You can grow 4 plants per person, 12 per house, but still, it's a lot of stigma. It just recently turned. And it's a small island, dude. Small island, small island. People always talk, and you hear stuff a lot faster than in big
Well, and like we were
countries.
saying, to get the supplies, like that's
Yeah,
everything's your grow will be way more
yeah,
expensive,
dude.
organic or not. To get this stuff that you're gonna get there is gonna cost more money.
Yeah, dude. Like I was just telling guys, I was just telling Rob that off screen, man. Like it's so difficult sometimes when you're living in some of these countries. Like I was living out in the Caribbean, and even if you get a free light from a fucking sponsor, dude, you're like, yes, I got a free light. It saves me like $150 or whatever. They ship it to you, and it comes down. I gotta pay customs to clear it, dude, and that could sometimes run me like 1,200 TT. That's about 200 US. So when I really break it down, it's like it's not really that much of a fucking benefit to me, dude.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, dude,
It's
they do it
crazy.
by
I
weight.
sent a light to Israel, and it was a winner of a fucking light, and it cost me
Yeah.
$130 to send it. It's like
Wow, that's
Jesus
a lot.
Christ. So then he probably had to pay money too.
Yeah, he would have to pay to clear that shit as well. So like I always got those stuff, and people and sponsors would be like, I'm gonna send you a tent. And I was like, bruh, like
Like,
I
I'm
cleared
good.
a 4x2 tent, and like it
Yeah.
was fucking crazy. Like I can't take that 5x5. I'm sorry, dude. I
That's
just can't,
crazy.
bro. Yeah, dude, it's intense. It's super intense, man. Fuck, bro. But anyway, dude, let me get back to stuff, man. Like we were just talking about like just plants in general, man. You guys have done so much for the community, man, and it got me wondering, do you guys grow any other plants? Like, do you personally grow any other plants, or is it only medicinal plants?
Yeah, in the summertime, I like especially herbs and spices, things like that. I love like a fresh salsa, so usually tomatoes, some little bit of green peppers, depending. Most times habanero and jalapeno. I'm like
Okay, I
into
got you.
that for sure. And Chris is
Okay.
definitely all about it too. I know he goes hard. He's got all sorts of gardens all year round, cucumbers and stuff.
Yeah,
I quit with the
dude.
cucumber though. Those fuckers get powdery mildew way too quick. Done with
Ooh,
cucumber.
yeah, no, I stay away from that one. And anything with powdery mildew, I'm like, nah, dude, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Same with squash. Squash is another one. It's like it'll just pop up. It's like, how the hell? Everything's immaculate, but you are covered like, nah, I'm done with you.
Yeah, no, the only reason I ask is because like some people actually started planting other veggies and stuff before they get into planting medicinal plants. So I was like, okay, was that like your gateway, or maybe you started off with the medicinal plants first? Like, but knowing you and you were like always into like the culture, you probably started off with the medicinal plants first, right?
Yeah. Medicinal right away. I was the first one. I was 13, and it was a old bag seed style. I put it in the
Wow,
bag. I was on
dude.
probation. I remember I stashed it because my mom smoked. She just didn't know and she knew I did, but it was like a quiet thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so she's always been a plant person, like indoor, outdoor. She's always got plants
Yeah.
and like regular plants. And so I decided, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this right outside our property, right over here. But I'm going to take some of her plants over here and put them with this. I knew nothing about plants at the time, and all her plants died because it was
Oh,
dead
fuck.
soil over here, nothing here. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, these don't need special soil. They're not like the medicinal plant. And she saw it right away. I got busted. She didn't
Yeah.
flip out, but like
She wasn't too pleased about
she
it.
wasn't happy. No, she
Yeah.
wasn't cool. Like she took it, or I'm sure it was smoking it, but it's like,
Dude,
yeah,
one thing's about moms, like my mom's actually kind of got me into like gardening, not medicinal plants. Moms, if you're watching, I know you didn't get me into that, right? But like, just she planted other stuff in general, man. And as a kid, I was just so like interested. I was like, okay, what is she doing? Like, I want to go in the garden, I want to dig holes and put plants down and do that shit. But like, I don't know. Like, I guess I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's different for everyone, you know?
well, it's like a reward system too. Like plants that are just visually appealing, I feel like aren't as rewarding versus like, man, I grew this thing and here's we harvested. You know, like when you're a
Yeah.
little kid, if somebody gets you into that, my son loves plants for that reason. He'll pop in. I got to get him out of there most of the time, but he'll pop in when I'm gardening. He'll be like, "Oh, your plants look beautiful." I'm like, "Get out of here!" But
Stop.
thank you for being patient.
Yeah. What
Get
I
out
do
of
love
here.
though is like seeing pictures of like dads in the garden and like their sons come in and they take a little pic with them and stuff like that. Just breaking the stigma. It's
For
essentially like
sure.
until you get older, you can grow, you can smoke and stuff when you get older. But for right now, this is how it grows. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, don't buy into the fucking propaganda. Like, bro, in one of my recent Seed to Harvest videos, spoiler alert, I put in like a fucking little clip there, like just about like how things were back in the day. And like some of these fucking old propaganda ads were crazy, bro. Like,
Oh,
people like smoking a joint and then driving crazy and hitting someone or jumping out of a window.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like reefer bad. It's
what?
literally you smoking. You're
Yes,
gonna be
that's
a
exactly what it was,
rapist.
dude.
Like what? And see, this is the thing too. Is I was just I'm working on a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
People who are watching this may find out soon what I'm talking about. But
Dope.
and looking into like the entourage effect, the science behind it. It's
Yeah.
crazy how much like I'd say propaganda that's come out more recently of saying how it's not real, and it's like really, and like it's studies that are just like they're inconclusive. There's not enough data, but then they just make it seem like facts say this. So someone will show you a headline, they won't read it, and it's like, why are people suppressing stuff that's good for people, like a
Yeah.
medicinal, mind alter, like a good thing? Why
Yeah.
why would it do that? And it's because there's usually an another company or another brand or someone else who's trying to capture that.
An ulterior motive.
Yeah. And it's like probably because most of these commercial companies don't have terpenes or flavonoids in their weed. So
Yeah.
they're like, well, just it doesn't exist. You just want
Yeah.
THC.
They're pissed. They're
Yeah.
just upset. I'm upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh fuck, dude, that's crazy, man. But like, I noticed that you guys actually went to like a lot of events and stuff as well, dude. You CLTV's hit up a lot of fucking events, dude. Like throughout the years, you guys have been at like Canacons, or you guys have been at Cups. I think the most recent one I saw you guys was it out in LA where you and Pigeons and everyone met up with Mr. Grow It and stuff with that in LA?
We did that, but then we just did a Canacon in Detroit. But
Ooh, okay.
I've
I didn't
become
know
like
that.
I'm not going to these events. I'm going outside the events. I'm going to after parties. Like
Okay.
the real community they're not at these places. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like the more you go, I'm in there and I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, these aren't my people. Like I don't know this guy. And then I'm passing around blunts. People like, I don't smoke. I
Yeah.
don't smoke. No,
Oh shit.
I took a 25 milligram edible this morning. It's like, oh,
I'm good for the rest of the day.
all right, I'm gonna
Okay.
smoke this card of distillate. It's like, oh,
Oh,
okay. And
okay.
it's like, okay, so you're just here for money. You think that we're a bunch of dumb stoners that you can capitalize on. I
Yeah.
see. I see. That's
Yeah.
cool. And it's
Yeah.
like, so now for all the events going forward, if there's not something community driven with it, I don't even want to go. It's cool to meet with the boys. That's a little different because Chris
Yeah.
and Pigeons, but me and Trey and Wink locally, like we got the grilling show this weekend.
Yeah. I saw that.
This
Shout
is
out to that,
later.
man.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good time there. And that's totally, it's very small. It's just a hangout. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
just us. As we're like a larger event, we would do something that like the Smokers Ball. That's gonna be in August. That's
Dope.
Juicy J, Devin the Dude,
Fuck.
Dizzy Wright, Ritz. It's gonna be a great show. And we're like co-promoting, we're a media sponsor. So that's a
That's hard.
larger thing.
That's
So like,
hard.
but that's for community. That's gonna be fun for the people. I don't want to go to some pitch fest and people are just selling me shit. Like
Yeah.
Green Street Festival was fun, but most of it was just that too. It was a bunch of vendors who were like, check out my brand, buy my shit. And it's like,
Yeah. This is what I got. Buy some shit.
yeah, we don't want to like, I don't want to do that. Us as a community, you go to a couple of these events and you're like, oh, that was awesome. 2 or 3, 4 times, and you're like, same
Yeah.
shit. And then you notice the brands like that are successful, like the AC Infinities of the world, they don't even
Yeah.
go to these events. It's like the
Yeah.
newer
That's true.
companies who are trying to get footing, or the companies who just need a loss leader and throw money away.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't want to go. I don't even want them as sponsors. I don't want to go.
Yeah. Very interesting, dude. Like I asked that because like a lot of people like who may be watching may not have gone to some events before. Like I myself went to Canafest recently. It was good. Shout out to them. At first there was a little bit of I guess sort of maybe disorganization, but they got their stuff together eventually and stuff, as I guess everyone does. And it worked out great. I linked up with the homies High Again, Neil and Heaven. It was an
Oh,
awesome
nice.
time. But like for those people who haven't gone to an event ever, or like period, haven't gone to one yet, what would you say to them?
I'd say,
is it worth it?
Choose wisely, because some aren't cannabis events. If you can't smoke weed there, that's not a cannabis event.
Okay, good
You know
point.
what I'm saying? And most events, and if they don't say consumption, open consumption, it's not a cannabis event. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking point, dude.
It's like going to Comic-Con and there's no comics, there's no fucking, you know what I'm saying? But there's like print presses to make comic books, and there's ink companies who can help you do, you know what I'm saying? It's
I
like,
love this analogy. Yeah,
I came here for my shit. I'm not a fucking commercial company who's trying to buy $100,000 machine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I get there's a market for that and they need that, but they try to market to the people who aren't looking at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just want to get anybody to show up, and it's like, don't waste your money if you're not in the space, or you don't want to have an experience. Like MJ BizCon, it's $300 to go to that, unless you're in the industry, whether you're a content creator or a business owner or entrepreneur or something. It's not worth going. It's too expensive. But then right out front of the place, that's where the community is. All the stoners just happen to pull up there, and we're getting high and kicking it. Like, fucking highest host didn't even pay for the event. He just was outside smoking the whole time. I was like,
and he just still got like the benefit, linked up with everyone, had a good time. It was like,
just
yeah,
came
what's
to
up,
get high.
homies? Yeah, dude. Fuck.
It was great. Like that's what I feel like. You got to experience shit. You got to go to these expos, and then you'll learn. Because then even still, if you're a grower, walk up to the booth that has fucking nutrients, and you might leave with a big fucking thing of free nutrients. Or walk up to the company that has the bags, and who knows, maybe all of a sudden you got free Grove bags. Like, that's the benefit there. But like, as a content creator, I've got so much shit that people send me that I don't have room for more. I literally have to give lights away because I'm like, I don't have another tent.
Yeah, it's facts. It's facts. Oh, dude, that's so true, man. Like when I went to the recent one, there were a lot of people there. I did meet a lot of people there. A lot of people just like sort of pushing their products and stuff as well. Just sort of like trying to push their products out there, and like, dude, people have never heard of before, like brands have never heard of before, like genetics has never heard of before, and I was like, okay, interesting, but like,
Not
but
really there for that. Like,
yeah,
see, I think if you're like somebody who's looking to find a vendor for your company, or you're looking for a product for your company, great place to go to. If
yeah,
you're someone who's an inventor in this space and like you're trying to find someone to collaborate, like that may be a great opportunity. Or again, a content creator, something like that. But if you're just a casual observer, consumer, a grower, choose very wisely. I feel like consumption events are the best ones to go to because you can consume. Yeah, there's going to be people selling their shit there, but bring your own bud, hang out, do your thing.
yeah.
I just feel like what they frame it as to people are these are event companies or corporate, Chad Brad dudes who just don't know. I don't think most of the stuff that we look at as malicious or evil is malicious and evil, just ignorant. They're so out of touch. They have no idea. They don't know us,
Dude, they're just a
They
little
literally have a
disconnected. Yeah,
business
that's a
plan to
good way to
target.
put it.
Well, like they have a business, 90% of
Yeah.
these companies literally talking to them. Their business plan is they're targeting Karen, the soccer mom, who's going to buy a cart once a year. Like that's literally, they're tapping into the market, catering to what's
Dude,
already
Karen, the
there and
soccer
us.
mom.
Yeah. They like, instead of looking at us, say, how can we help these guys? All right. So there's lots of
Yeah,
growers. How can we get the growers to still buy bud from us or work with us?
yeah,
Maybe we start selling cuts. That would be an interesting one. They're never going to buy weed from us
yeah,
anyways, but this is a whole market of people who, you know what I'm saying, who would come in and do this shit. Or maybe we'll sell shit that they wouldn't do, like the rosin that's more processed. Maybe we'll fucking do, that's what these companies should do. Or again, Franklin Field's a prime example. They grow Thug Pug genetics.
yeah. I
Fire.
know.
I would
I know that.
never grow peanut butter breath. I would never grow Pug's breath, but I'll
Okay.
smoke the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Great,
Interesting,
but
dude.
horrible to grow. Like takes too long, thin, puny buds, like
Yeah, I know what
stressful.
you
I don't
mean.
want anything to do with it. But damn, if someone else will,
Yeah, that shit
you know,
fire.
that's what a craft dispensary should be for. They cater to not just the Karens of the world. They cater to the people who don't have a plug or connection, but also for those of us who want a different flavor. Who's like, man, it's only 30 for an A, or it's only
Yeah,
fucking 120 for the Z. Like, yeah, why not? I
for
want to splurge a little
shit.
bit, have a little different flavor with my
Yeah,
mix. Or I'm harvesting in 2 weeks, so I don't want to tap into this. So I'll just go grab a Z from the dispo.
yeah,
Dispo bud, when I was coming up, was looked at as that's the best. People
yeah.
would hide their shit
Facts.
in a dispo bag. People would fucking travel across the state to go to the dispensary because they thought it was better
Yeah,
at the
fuck, dude.
dispensary. Now it's the polar opposite. Now
Yeah,
dispo is
complete
the
opposite.
worst. Like,
Yeah, people like dispo suck their shit. Like, fuck a
why is that?
dispo.
It's not because it's a reality. All they're doing is they're growing at scale and putting it in a building.
Yeah,
It's because they just don't know what they're fucking doing.
yeah,
They're
it's so
naive.
true. It's so true. Like right now, I'm between harvest, man. I just told you, like I moved out here. I haven't harvested yet, so I'm literally confined to dispo. But out here I got good options because there's just so many fucking options.
Yeah,
But
people have to compete, and the price point becomes and then you can choose quality at that point. We're like this. You know what? I'm gonna get this one while I wait. I'll grab a Z. Just hold me
yeah,
over.
dude, like I got like a few of them here. Every time I go, I cop an ounce, and
Exactly.
I can cop them for like $59 for an ounce out the door.
So that's what I'm saying. As long as it's not fucking nuked, so to speak, and it's like it still has the terps and you got something to it, it's like, dude, how can you not? And the thing is, like I was saying, is a lot of these commercial grows, like, how are they selling it so cheap?
Yeah,
If they're having 700 a bow or less, is that's what their cost is?
yeah,
That's how it's so cheap. Think about it for
so
the former
true.
street guys. Like,
Yeah.
did you ever get it at that price? And if you did you break it to like most people would keep it still at the same thing or to get liquidated? Like, I got these all day for 90. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just
Yeah.
what it is. Like,
Yeah, it's true. Fuck, dude. When you break it down like that, it's so true. I remember I went out to Chicago for a fucking Cannabis, dude. I went to a dispo. I can't even remember the name, but it was so expensive out there, dude. Like I left
like
there
70 to 80
spending
bucks
like,
an eighth, dude.
yes, dude, $80 for an eighth. I was just about to say, dude, you know what's up, bro.
And you couldn't even, did you go to a place where you couldn't even see the bud? It was, you had to go through like a menu out of phone or a tablet or
Yeah,
something.
dude. Literally.
Their laws are so fucked that this is why the market gets ruined, is the people who are making the money decisions don't know
Yeah.
shit. The people who are making the laws and the
Facts.
restrictions don't know shit. And so then those of us who do know shit, we're just taste in our mouth and don't even want to get involved. But if we would get involved, whether it's politics locally or regulation or commercial grows, it would change the whole thing. Like, this is what we all dreamed of.
Game
They're
changing,
just,
bro.
people are putting themselves, they're pigeonholing themselves away from this and saying, fuck Chad Brad. It's like, let's take Chad Brad's money and make shit work.
Yeah, dog. That's literally it. And no pun intended by pigeonholing. Shout out to pigeons for
Yeah,
turning.
no pun intended to Chad's or Brad. There's great people named Chad and Brad. Shout out Chad Westport,
Yeah,
great guy.
huge
Sucks
shout
that
out.
the Chad has been used as that name. Some shitty Chad with like a visor and spiked blonde tips and dad's money. Who created this?
Oh,
Just like
dude.
Kyle's and Karen's. Like I feel
Yeah,
bad for all of them.
Karens, dude. The Karens of this fucking world, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, it sucks if your name is Karen, you're a great person, and it's like I've
Yeah,
never been.
I've never done anything to
I'm
anyone.
Karen. Like, that's horrible.
I'm not even like an upsetting person.
Yeah, like I
I'm
smoke weed
really
and kick it.
cool.
Like we're good. Look.
Fuck. Oh, dude, that's hilarious, man. I'm loving this so far, dude. Guys, smash a like for Rob, smash a like for CLTV, guys. But I think this is a perfect segue that we can segue into Know Your Buds, dude. And Know Your Buds is just a little segment that I have on the show with everyone that comes on the show is my bud. That's what I like to say, man. So you're like my bud. I'm getting to know you, and I get to know what you do with your buds, how you break it down, how you grow it, and whatever you do with it, right? So we got a few questions. Not too many, but there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just gonna throw out a few options, and you tell me what you prefer and why. So pretty simple. All right. There's no right or wrong answer. All right. First off, when it comes to germination, what's your preference? Paper towel, glass of water, or straight into the soil?
The last 4 pheno hunts, I've literally just put them right in the soil.
Dude.
So much of the shit I've preached on the channel, I've gone against just to see if you can do it without it. And like, yeah, it just takes a little longer.
Yeah.
It took like 2 days longer, but when you're popping fucking 50 at a time, it's a lot easier to do that than to have a bunch of plastic bags with fucking shit in there. You know what I'm saying? So I just am thinking at that point, I'm like, you know what? Make it happen.
Yeah, I actually think someone else said that on the channel recently as well. They were like, I just popped so many beans at scale. I think I had on a commercial grower, and he popped so many beans at scale. He was like, I can't just go putting everything into a fucking paper towel, each time and like into a Ziploc bag. Like I just go straight into the soil.
When you do like 5 or 10, like, yeah, you can do that. Or like when you're just starting, just like when you have your first kid, for the parents out there. So crazy. Like I was such a softie. I was everything.
Out, man. Shout out.
Man, I was so concerned. And like my kid turned out amazing. He's still young, but my second kid, like I'm so chill. I'm like, oh, we're good. He's fine. Don't worry about it. Because like now you've gone through it. Like you feel it, you understand. With growing, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
These are your babies. You're so delicate. You spend everything. Like this is my everything, bro. Like I don't want to put all this money. I'm broke. It's like you're fine, bro. You get past this shit.
Don't worry about it.
Don't put so much stress into it.
Yeah, less is more sometimes. Just give it the love and less is more.
Yeah, just grow the plant, give it what it needs. It's like follow a recipe. Not a lot of people are great cooks. They're great at following recipes.
Yeah,
same with
so
growers.
True.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, that's so true, man. Now that analogy is fucking lit, bro. Because a lot of people like they just like to follow what's on the back of the bottle. Like I had so many growers come on, and they're like, the organic just seems like such a crazy science. Like you just got to mix all these things. I just like growing clean, like in DWC, or I just like growing in organic, growing in cocoa and using synthetics, just because it's I got full control over what I'm doing. And I was like, wow, it's great to hear other people's side of things, man, because there's no one right or wrong way to grow, right?
Exactly. It's all preference, and what somebody likes in the input and output is different than the next person. Facts. You know what I'm saying? I've got a buddy who swears like the shit that I hate, everything I've pulled that I hate is his favorite. He's like, that shit's awesome. What are you talking about? I'm like, bro, I hate that shit.
You can have it, dude. Keep the rest of that shit.
And everything that like I really love, he's like,
I'm not sure about this one.
It's like preference. I think that's the thing with growing. That the misconception that was out there early on is this is the couple ways to do it. Boom, 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 boom. That's so it. True. But science is showing that that's wrong, because botany and agriculture has been around a lot longer than people realize. There's so many ways to do this shit, in which it's all about, like, again, input, output, and what you want to do as a grower.
Hell yeah, dude. So true. Oh man, preaching over here, and I love that, man. I endorse all of that. But the next question is feminized or regs? What's your preference?
I usually do regs. I can't find the shit that I like ever feminized. When I first started, I could, because I was pick and mix, and I'm going like, okay, Pineapple Express, Sour Diesel, Blue Dream, like names I've heard of, AK-47,
Yeah.
Only once I went through, literally, like me and Trey, we were sponsored by a company, Gorilla Bank, we'll just say, so you don't get messed with here.
Okay.
Gorilla Bank. And
Gorilla Bank.
They gave us so many beans. It was insane, dude. Like we went through 100 genetics in a 2-year period.
Wow, that's
100 genetics.
bro, that's crazy, dude. Like, honestly, guys, if you know anything about anything, I go through personally maybe like 4 genetics a year, dude. That
Yeah.
is crazy, bro.
I've gotten, since then, I've only taken like 4 on. But like,
Oh, dude.
I couldn't find
Wow.
one that I liked, man, because at the time I wasn't so savvy to phenos and the genotype and how something would change based on my environment and how I'm treating it.
Yeah,
And knowing that that name of the cultivar doesn't mean that that's the cultivar per se.
true.
And then over time, I started realizing what I like. What I like isn't always the best grower, but I like the end product, that flavor, the right entourage effect, so to speak, for me that hits right. As
Yeah,
where, you know, plenty other people I know, their goal isn't the same thing. Their goal is they need production,
yeah,
or they're growing resin, trichome, so they want
yeah,
to get extract,
yeah,
or their flavor they're looking for is going to be a 12-week to 14-week cultivar. So our whole style of growing, if you stepped out and looked at it, yeah, you're just growing plants. But
yeah.
if you get into it, you're like, they have
Different
nothing similar,
purposes. Yeah,
not even comparable. You
yeah.
know,
Wow. When you
that's how
break it down,
this
it's
shit is.
insane.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Wow. Wait. When you break it down like that, it really does make a lot of sense. Shit. Like hits blunt, talks to Rob, thinks about everything differently.
Deep.
For sure, dude. All right. The next question is hydro or soil? What's your preference?
Um, Totally. For me, definitely would be soil over hydro, but
Okay.
I just don't want to use as much electricity. Like, maybe it was just a fucking propaganda article, but I read an article a while back saying about, since increase in legalization in places and growing, the amount of electrical usage in the U.S. has like skyrocketed, and it's causing more like CO2 fucking issues and more problems amongst our environment than necessary. There's less sustainable products being used and taken. Things that shouldn't be done at scale are being done at scale. So like,
Yeah.
I'm all for people doing anything that's more sustainable. Organic gardening is going to be the best for sustainability, no question. Once you figure out exactly what you want to grow and how you grow it, you know what I'm saying, in terms of your genetics.
Yeah.
But for me, I use usually cocoa or a peat moss, which aren't the most sustainable. So I'm trying to work my way away from those.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I do my best to avoid more electrical consumption. So
Yeah.
hydro, for me, right away, just there's more components right away that take more
More
electricity.
electricity. Yeah.
Even if my results a little bit better, it's like I can get that with less electrical usage using
Yeah.
something else.
Running those pumps all day, maybe an air chiller. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so true. I like that. I like that people also are getting into the sustainability. That seems to be a running theme on the podcast as of recently, man. A lot of people shout out to like Uncle Buzz, Crop King Colin. No affiliation with Crop King Seeds for everyone that's watching. He's
Good.
just a cool dude. But yeah, man. So it's what's the fucking word I was looking for again? Being just sustainable and recycling and stuff like that. That's really important, and that's one thing that I definitely try to do a lot, man. Like I've even got like a bunch of boxes I've been like waiting to throw out, but I just haven't thrown it out because I know I'm gonna use it in my fucking raised bed garden. You know, I'm gonna use that as some filler, or use some old soil that I've got some old branches and shit, and I'm gonna fill that bitch up and make my raised bed garden. You know?
Exactly. Problem is when you become like a hoarder, like my fucking shed is just packed
Yeah,
with
there's a
shit.
fine line, dude.
Yeah. You
My
gotta figure out the balance.
my wife is like literally like dude, you hoard everything. Like you need
Yeah.
to throw some like the old box from like 4 years ago. Like, why are you keeping that? Like,
Like you
you
never
don't even have
know.
your iPhone anymore. Like, why do you have the iPhone box?
It's like, what if I need the box to put a new phone in to hold
Yeah,
that one?
like
Like,
who knows? Like, I don't know. I'm just still waiting.
that's what it
Oh
is. I'd
fuck.
rather be less wasteful, and it's tough to say that when you're using synthetic nutrients and go-go.
Yeah,
But I'm working my way. This is the problem with people who probably already grown hydros, like, but the results.
yeah,
But
the
I
results.
like what I'm getting, so it's tough to get away from that. But it's like there's alternatives. I'm just still in the process where I'm trying to find my keepers. I'm gonna let Headbanger go. I've decided this is the last run of it. I've got a cross that I'm popping at Chemistry, which is Headbanger and Motor Breath. Supposed to be
Okay,
a better yielder. But like I haven't gone through many genetics since then. And because I'm running cocoa versus organic, I feel like I have the more control, like we said, the cocoa with the synthetic based nutrients, and I'm able to test how a plant reacts to one style versus another style.
I
And
got
because I
you.
want to only have stuff in my garden that all works synergistically, that I don't have to feed
Makes sense.
this way, that way. Like,
Yeah.
and right now that's how all my plants are. Is one's like, you need lower EC, you need higher, you need this. Like, ugh,
Yeah, it's a pain. It's a
I
pain.
hate it.
Like even now I'm dabbling in some DWC, and I'm running organics and DWC, and it's like, just having to feed 2 different plants, 2 different systems. It's like, fuck.
I have a headache. It sounds good in theory, and then you do it, and you're like, like
Yeah.
if this all you do is grow bud, like early caregiver days in Michigan. So I knew people who that's all they did, and like, oh, that's cool. Well, then it makes sense for you to do all this extra stuff. But I got to go to work in 3 hours, so I'm
So
leaving.
true.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not,
I can't do that right now, but that got
Yeah.
me wondering, man. Have you done like any breeding? I saw Chris on a live recently, and he said that he's been working on a few crosses and stuff. Have you got into any breeding?
Not intentional breeding. No, I had one time where pollen made its way in, and then I kept the beans, and they did pretty well. And I was like,
Oh,
"Nah."
nice.
But they were ones that were so finicky again. I was like, yeah, these are not viable. But for me,
Okay.
it's not my expertise. I feel like there's layers
Yeah.
to the stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could probably help
Yeah.
somebody select their phenotype. I could probably help somebody with the R&D. But when it comes to like the breeding side, I don't even want to get into that realm. I'm gonna let someone else do it and partner with
Yeah.
them or something. Like Chris is doing good.
Yeah.
He just sent me some more of the chill outs. I think it's F2s now, and
Yeah.
definitely excited for that because it's somebody else who's kind of doing that work, but he
Nice.
knows what I'm looking for, and we
Yeah.
collaborate.
Yeah, nice. I'm looking forward to that as well, man. So speaking of beans, let's get this one out of the way. Photo periods or autoflowers? What's your preference?
Photo periods for me, just because I like to keep it around,
Yeah, I like to do
and
that too.
control the size too. Like that's a big thing. But
Yeah.
autoflowers absolutely serve their purpose, and nowadays they're solid. You just got to know the right ones, like Mephisto. Obviously, I wasn't a fan of any of the ones from Fast Buds. They grew good. They're all good growers. If you're not a very picky smoker, then you probably be like, "This is great." But for me, I didn't like any of it. I hated it. Fucking hated it. So
Interesting,
it's just
man. I'm growing a Gorilla Cookies by Fast Buds now, but just in general, I don't have the greatest of luck with autos. They always turn out pretty small, pretty wonky. Like, fuck, dude.
Man, a lot of it I feel like is genetic based because I recently popped a couple and they just like flowered super quick. I was like, what the fuck? Like these other ones damn near vegged where I'm like, this is like a regular plant. This looks like a photo. Like it's a solid size. Holy shit. And meanwhile, these other ones that from a more notoriously not great breeder, we'll say, I'm not gonna put them on blast, end up, tiny. And I'm like, this is somebody who's an amateur, or else just bad genetics. I just unlucky.
Yeah, dude. I got some super small autos in my life. I'm like, dog, what the fuck? Like,
like literally out of the container, like this.
Yeah,
big.
dude.
Like,
yeah, failure, complete
got
failure.
like a quarter total. I'm gonna smoke this today.
I guess I'm gonna dry it and wait for it to cure.
Like just one piece.
I actually got one super small recently, dude. It was like almost like one bud, dude. It's like one of the bottom buds. That was my whole plant, right? And I literally just like I plucked it out and I just threw it away, dude. I was like, fuck this. I ain't got time. Yeah, I ain't got time.
Yeah, see, that's where it's like the calm the herd process of stuff. It's like I'm very big, very quick to like, hey, I gotta kill it off. I feel bad. Like I literally will sometimes like I appreciate you, like almost a little prayer to the plant, but it's like you can't waste energy on shit like that if you're trying to smoke. If you smoke a lot, or if you're a caregiver, or if you're in any sort of form of production,
Especially,
yeah, you like there's no chance. And I've done that way too long. I shouldn't have kept headbanger around as long as I have. Like it's tasty, but so is Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo's fire, and that yields way more. So why the fuck? Like,
it answers itself.
Yeah. So why? So it's like that fine balance between like, is this worth keeping or just pluck? You're gone. I'm not dealing with you anymore.
I'm gonna see you. Bye. Fuck, dude. It's so true though. But like, I've come to the point now where I'm just not keeping like the shitty genetics around anymore. I don't have huge plant limits. Like, I just gotta fucking find what I think is fire. I could keep that one around. But if I pop something and even in flower stage, it's growing. It's like super small. It's a super small auto. Like I just told you, I'm gonna throw that shit away, bro.
Yeah. Like, why even waste the time? Like, I don't think there's any science to it, honestly. But my thought process always is like, why share the lumens? Why share like the light energy?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? I feel like when I've only had a couple plants in an area versus a couple struggling ones with those couple that are good have flourished without the struggling ones. As where the struggling ones, it's almost like nature where
it's like bad vibes. Yeah, it's like the bad vibes is getting across to the good ones.
Yeah, like I mean, there's in nature, like with the ecosystem, plants will help other plants, so to speak. Well, certain ones they have that characteristic. I don't know if we have that with our medicinal herbs, but I'd have to look into that. But one would think, you'd almost want to keep your sister alive when like I don't know.
It's true though. Oh fuck. Anyway, man, next question. Synthetic or organics? What's your preference?
My preference is synthetic, but I want to find the right organic mix, organic process for me. I did the builder
Okay.
soil mix. Didn't mind it. It was good. It was good when it was a premix and I did it with one plant. But then when I was doing pheno hunting, I had one that needed way more food. It just became more of the shit where I'm like, I may as well just use the other stuff and doing all this extra work and putting all this extra shit in. And you can't just get a small amount. I got to buy this giant container. It's like, well, yeah, but it lasts this. It's like, yeah, but I don't need this. I don't have the
Huge
room
ass
for all this
container.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
so it's for me personally at the moment synthetic in terms of just the work, and there's no like end result where someone's like, yeah, but organic is better. It's like you just don't know how to fucking grow weed right, or you weren't growing the right genetics. There's no science.
Yeah.
There's more terpene production
There's literally
from
no
this. Just
science
you got to do
behind that.
these. You got to give it the micro, the macro. Someone will argue with me, but science disagrees.
Yeah, I agree. I actually said that recently, dude. There's like no science-backed thing that says organics taste better than, synthetics, but people have that misconception in their
I
head.
think it's
Like,
just easier to achieve. It's easier to get the better flavor because everything's there, like your micro, macro, everything. Otherwise, it's human error, or else if you get a nutrient line that's a 2-3
yeah,
parter and it's missing
true.
some of the micros and you don't use any microbes and you have nothing to inoculate the root system, so it really eats it all up.
Yeah.
Then yeah, but then again, organic has all that already there, so it's like shit, no brainer. You get better results with organic. Most people
For
who
real.
say that had a bad result with synthetic.
Yeah,
Or
that's
they've
true.
got a buddy who grows genetics that are heavy yielders, tons of trichomes, but no terpenes and flavonoids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah,
they're right, but they're wrong. They're
yeah,
right in their situation,
yeah.
but it's
But
not a
on the
general
bigger
statement.
picture,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I got you. I got you. But you mentioned something there, man. You mentioned a few times actually phenotypes and pheno hunting. Now there may be some people here who don't know like exactly what that means. So can you just break down exactly what like a phenotype is and why it's so important? Because two people can have the same strain, but they're completely different.
It's weird, man. Like, this is one of those ones that is going to be like how entourage effect is, or like cultivar versus strain. I think eventually phenotypes can be changed to genotype.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think.
Interesting.
But phenotype, what most people look at it as, and what I've looked at it
Mhm.
as forever, is going to be the, unique character expression within a single cultivar or strain. So if you've
Okay.
got a hybrid, especially with hybrids, just like with parents, you two parents, you've got you, your brother, and your sister. Unless you're like identical twins, which will be not so common, even still, there's going to be traits that each of you have as different characteristics that are unique based on those parents' traits blended together. It could be the grandparents that you got a little of, the great uncle you have a little bit of, but that's just how breeding will usually be.
Yeah.
So with these new hybrids and these ones that are like, I wouldn't say like not stable, but just like kind of wild, they're so hybridized that
Super
you're going to
new.
get a lot of characteristics and a lot of
Yeah.
different expressions out of these ones. And then that's where you're seeing cuts being renamed, phenotypes being renamed, like white truffle. So to identify this, you can call it either gorilla butter number 95 or whatever the fuck you want to call it. How do you say it's this number when like you're the individual who popped 10 of those? So if somebody's like, all right, well, if I pop 10, number 9 should be the one. It's like, that's not the logic. Like it's like they opened up a pack of baseball cards and they got the rookie card. They got lucky, so that's not usually how it works with phenos.
Wow.
It's just like anything. Like what you get is not what you get. You buy a packet of beans and you're like, I'm looking for the gas flavor. So you get a sour diesel. Well, that whole pack, you may not even got the right one. You may
Yeah.
have to pop another
Fuck.
one. You may have to pop another. I went through 10 packs of fucking Holy Grail Kush.
Wow.
10 packs. I was trying to find this one pheno that I let go. Never found it again.
Bro,
10 packs.
that's crazy
That was
fucking Z, dude.
$2,000 worth of fucking beans.
That's
And I was just
wild,
working at
bro.
a factory at the time. Like that was, I was obsessed with it. I wanted
Yeah.
that one back.
Bro, oh my God. Like, no, that breaks shit down like completely differently. That goes to show like how different the phenotypes can be between the plants, dude. Like between the exact same strain from the same breeder, but that fucking phenotype that has me scared now, dude. I'm
Well,
wondering if
dude, and
like
some
some
are
of these
comparable and some are
fuck.
dramatically far. I grew a tangerine dream that the breeder said that you can either get a tangerine like very citrus one or one that's very Java like.
Okay.
So
That's
how is that
a wide
contrast from a
difference.
tangerine dream? You get one that's coffee like
Yeah, that's a wide difference, bro.
or fruity like. You know
That's
what
a
I'm
wide
saying? Like,
difference, bro. Which
that
one
almost
is
should
it,
be a
bro?
totally different thing. That shouldn't be called tangerine dream anymore. It should be like
Yeah.
coffee fucking afternoon or something,
Yeah. Or maybe they just weren't exactly sure about what sort of terps and flavor profiles they locked in. So they're like, okay, I'm gonna pick a wide ass spectrum. It's like gas and fruit, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna fit somewhere in there. And see, that's
Yeah.
where I think when people
Why?
start breeding for terpenes, and that's their thought process. It's like, all right, this cultivar is known for this terpene, this one's for this and this. We're looking to get this out of it.
Yeah.
And then they keep refining it and refining it and refining it until they get it out there. And then that way, no matter what, you're gonna get something within there. And now the only difference will be like growth characteristics. And that for me is okay. I'd rather have the plant, maybe the morphology is a little dramatically different. So it doesn't
Yeah.
even look like they're the same plants, but that end smoke, it's like very similar. One may be a
Okay.
little more,
It's true.
subtle
Okay.
versus the other is
Yeah.
real sharp, but it's still, you're like, oh yeah, that's the myrcene. I taste the
Yeah.
linalool, or like that's that. I know this is it. It's just this isn't the one that pops.
Yeah.
I hope
It's
there's
just,
more of that in the future.
yeah, makes a lot of sense, dude. Like, especially when you put it that way. But like, I guess that makes me feel a little bit better as well about, because when I pop my beans, dude, I don't know like how you do it or how other people who are watching now do it. But like, I'll get a pack and I'll probably pop one or two out of the whole pack. When I put the pack back away, and so I have a bunch of fucking half open packs. Like,
That's how
and
I used to do it. Yeah.
and I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I can go back, and if I like that strain, I'll go back and pop another bean from that strain. But now I'm wondering like, maybe that phenotype is fucking gone forever.
Yeah, see, that's the thing too, is like it easily could be. And what I've been doing lately now is it's a whole run of that. I'll do 2 cultivars,
Yeah.
pop 2 packs of 10, hoping that I have 5 viable in each. So then I've got to run a 10 each, and then I'll do 5 and 5, and I'll see what I want to keep out of those. And with those and labeling the phenotypes, and really like the first run for me, I usually can't say I'm going to keep this or that unless this one's dramatically terpier than this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck that. Like, it's not a situation where like I've made my decision before I harvest based on any other thing other than the end product. I have
Yeah.
to see the end product. And then I almost need to grow it again because it's like I could maybe do better.
And
Now
then
that I
that,
know that this needs this training or this,
yeah. So how do you like then like okay, so you do it afterwards, you make your decision on the end product, but how do you know like what's your process then for keeping that pheno around? Do you like re-veg? Like what do you do?
I've re-vegged before when I fucked up and been like, oh, I labeled it incorrectly. But normally I'll do, for example, I'll do chemistry A, chemistry B, chemistry C, chemistry D. And
Okay.
then when I finish, it's like, if they're all female, if, it turns out female, it's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to go through these phenos and I'll see chemistry A. It's like, oh, this was the slapper right here. So
Okay.
then I'm
Okay.
setting this aside
Smart.
here. And if one is dramatically different in terpenes and flavonoids, I may keep it around and
Yeah.
call it something different. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
As where like, but still call it, this is a cut of chemistry. Like then you still got to give credit to, the breeder, like Boston
For
Root
sure.
knocked out of the park. But
Shout out.
you have to identify it in some sense. Gorilla Glue number 4 is being fucking sold as beans now.
Yeah.
It's false. It's bullshit. I hate that is. They're selling phenotype. There's white truffle beans you get. It's not real. It's a lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I got
literally
some
a
Gorilla
fucking
Glue
lie.
4
Like,
that I know was not Gorilla Glue number 4, dude.
yeah,
Like for sure.
it's crazy that someone's trying to sell. Like either they're that naive and ignorant, or they're straight up lying and screwing over the people.
Yeah. And some people do just fucking lie, dude.
Yeah. And they're like these dumb stoners. Like I said, these people who are like looking at us like we're these morons, and they're
Yeah.
like, they're idiots. No, I got a degree. I know this stuff. Like none
Yeah.
of you did anything. And it's like, oh, really? Well, I got my master's right here. Like, Pickens went to university. We got tons of people who are very educated in this space
Hell
and
yeah.
know what they're doing. And we don't get duped, but there's a handful of people who are still getting screwed over.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure, dude. And like sometimes it's just about like your circumstances, dude. Because when I first started off growing, I was out in the Caribbean. It was hard to get seeds. It still fucking is. Like I
you get
bought
what you
seeds
get.
once, and they got seeds, dude. Like they didn't even make it to me. Like a good bunch of seeds got seeds, dude. So after that, I was like, okay, well, here's what's gonna go on. Let me see if I can source them locally. So I was like, okay, I sourced a few of them locally, and I got a Gorilla Glue auto flower in a seedling, as a seedling in a solo cup, dude, just to show you how bad things were. And I grew it out, and that was not a Gorilla Glue 4, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I've had that before. I had Gorilla because I thought it was the case. I did pick and mix, and I ordered some Gorilla Glue number 4 by like Advanced Feminized Seeds, or something, like some random company. And I was
it
like,
was
cool,
not.
this is gonna be the one. I want the one I've been smoking in the streets. And it's like not even similar.
Yeah,
But it's
fuck.
because when you don't know, it's like anything. When you have no idea about this stuff, it's so like new. You
Yeah,
go into it with an open mind and you assume that people are going to look out for your best interests. But right
yeah,
now, this industry is still so new that we've got these vultures, these culture vultures in here trying to take over what we have. And
Yeah.
Now they're rising to the top like fat, and we're seeing them, and we know who they are, and it's like, oh, you,
Yeah.
you're trying. Okay, all right, that's cool.
I see you, motherfucker.
Yeah, now we see what you're doing, and there's more and more people who just either don't buy from them or work with their competition, and then their competition eventually buys them or puts them out of business. And it's like, that's what the goal is here. Is we're here to take over, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you later.
Yep, like literally, like I've been saying, craft growers and the real consumers, we're here to take over the market. We demand better prices and better quality and better treatment. Like it's just it's any product.
Facts.
You know, we get good craft brew, we get good even shit Bud Light, whatever. There's quality control, it's consistent, and the people that have a good experience and the price point's fair. Why can't we have that with our flower?
Yeah, dude, it's so true. And I was actually living out here in Colorado, and I looked at this on all these stuff, man. I was talking to my wife about this. It actually says this product was produced without regulatory oversight for health, safety, or efficacy. And that's printed on all of these, dude. Like, so it really gets me wondering. Like, there's so many laws and regulations around it, but what's that about? You know, what does that even mean?
We've got some that say like, you know, can cause cancer, this and that, and it's like, no, it doesn't. Why the hell? That's insane. But it's like because certain regulations in certain areas and in municipals, other places, they're like forcing you to say shit that could hurt your business, really. And it's false advertising in other areas where like you're now you have an argument for somebody who's like, this is a bad thing. It's like, what? No, if they're going to go and smoke it, if anything's combustible, yeah, this isn't a great idea to smoke a blunt. I wouldn't say, hey, the person who's doing that, go smoke a blunt. This is my advice. It's recreational. But otherwise, get a vaporizer, consume the flower, you know, in a proper way, whatever. But
yeah, it's so true, man. And that was a great like little segue there, because I actually wanted to ask you about phenotypes, and I think we broke that down really, really fucking well there for all the viewers, man. So thanks a lot for that, Rob. Appreciate you.
Funny enough, but I actually have a From the Stash meeting that happened 10 minutes ago that I have to join here real soon, man. So I need to hop off. It's been an hour here, but it's been a great session. You know what I would like to do, man? Since you have a setup and a good mic and all these things, what about maybe coming on From the Stash soon?
Yeah, dude, I'm definitely down.
Cool. I'd love to talk about the migration. A lot of people are talking about, I want to move to Michigan. I want to move here. You know, do you leave before it goes legal, or do you wait it out? Do you become the pioneer in your place? Like, but then in your situation is so much more unique. That's why this is like, you know,
I'm definitely down.
Go legal, like.
Yeah, dude, I think that'd be fucking dope. Like, and I think we've touched on a lot of different things, man. So for like everyone that like wants to find out more about you, more about CLTV, maybe get in touch with you, where can they do that, bro? Just drop all that stuff for us, man.
Watch CLTV.com is gonna be the main hub. That's where like everything's at for the most part. Otherwise, YouTube you can check out. Well, it's actually there's just CLTV now. I changed it. Yeah, so it's just CLTV on YouTube. Watch CLTV on Instagram. Rob Blogs, Top Buds, From the Stash. A lot of shows.
A lot of shows, dude. Actually, coming to think of it, you guys got so much going on. I forgot about Top Buds, but I always see it on Twitch, man.
We do a lot of stuff, man. I'm always streaming at night on Twitch. Rob Seal TV on Twitch. I'm just gaming, doing a thing, kicking it, smoking, getting a little extra lit, but you know. Kids are sleeping. So
I got you. Fuck, man. Well, yeah, dude. Like, thanks so much for hopping on, man. I'll obviously love to jump on to the episode with you. You can just hit me up and let me know when. I'm usually almost always flexible, dude. But thanks a lot for hopping on, man. I'm gonna put links to all Rob's stuff, CLTV, everything down below, From the Stash podcast, every fucking thing, dude. He's got so much going on, guys.
Thanks, brother.
And you guys need to check it out. One of the pioneers. Thanks a lot, Rob. We'll see you. And I'm gonna stay in touch with you, brother.
Sounds great, brother. You have a good one, man.
100%.